And now in this video, what we're going to do is just have a little bit of fun and kind of move around and do a little bit of editing of this particular little system. So I'm going to go back to my floor plan ceiling. So as long as this stuff is connected, it'll try to stay connected. So if I take this diffuser and press and pull it over there, okay, I have my press and drag turned on. What that means is if this is turned on, I can press, grab something, press, hold it, and move it. Okay, so you can go ahead and move this. Now that this flex duct is already connected, it will be any length. It's only a maximum of 6 feet. Remember when we went to our settings in here and we went to the, Revit's asking me to save. I'm just going to hit cancel, but you could probably do a save. When we go to branch, you see it says maximum flex duct length, 6 feet. That only applies when it does the automatic first time connection. Once it's connected, it'll keep that flex duct as it is. Okay, so I can take this and you can press and move this stuff and it'll adapt. So if I click on here, the main trunk, and I use my arrow key, I can nudge that over. Nudge, nudge, nudge. And because it's all aligned, clicking out, then it's moving it right down to here. Okay, so I can take these guys and I can click them and nudge those pieces of equipment, and when there's other connectors, it'll take that and move it. So I'm using my arrow key to kind of move that. Anytime you want, you can click on here and you can grab these guys and just kind of stretch them down. Okay, and then you can pick on here, and let's say I pulled that off, and I'm just having fun here. What you can do in here is I could take this guy and I can say move it, and then I can simply pick on there, or I can grab this connector and then I can pull that connector down to this connector and it'll reconnect. So just notice the little grips and the little connectors as you try to connect and disconnect and reconnect this stuff. Okay, let's go to a 3D view. Okay, what happens if I change the elevation vertically of these diffusers? Watch, I can pick on this diffuser and I can say, okay, it's currently at the ceiling level. If maybe I want to make for some reason that's 4 feet down, I'll say -4, click down and it'll go that way. I can click more than one at a time and click both of these two guys and say you guys are at -3 feet. Okay, or 1 meter if it's metric. Okay, shift middle mouse button, so we could do that type of thing. So as long as you move this stuff around, it'll try to stay connected. Okay, you can also go in here if you want and just say delete this. Okay, when you delete the ductwork, I always find it's probably easier, it's best to just also delete the little these little transitions with them. Okay, now watch what else we can do. Once we're down to just the duct and the diffuser, watch, I can pick on this duct using my control button to pick this guy at the same time. So I've got this guy and this guy connected, and guess what? There's my routing solution. Here we go, offers routing solution. So watch, I'm going to pick on here and it's going to provide a solution for me, and I am going to say no, I want it to be, can I change it to be flex duct, oval, rectangular, round. So it's not giving me the option to go rectangular in here. I'm wondering if I pick on properties. No, that just does that. And it is not. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit no on that. Yes, I'm going to cancel out. I'm going to start again. This time I'm going to pick on here. I'm going to right click on this connector and say draw flexed duct. Now I can go down here and then I'm trying to hover over here. I'm looking for a connector. Can't really see one. Okay, so let's go back to our floor plan. Start it again. Pick on here, right click, draw flex duct, and then there we go. Snap to the connector. Not sure why it wasn't getting it in 3D. Escape, escape. It adds in the little fittings, the reducers, or the transitions, and then puts that in there. So not sure why I couldn't do that in 3D. I can see the connector, so let's try it over here. Maybe if I leave the fittings in here, what happens if I click on here and I right click on this end one and say draw flex duct? It's not. What if I use a tab? Tab, tab, tab. 3D is not letting me connect to that. I've got to. What if I start from here instead? There. Click on here. Ah, I see. That's weird. So it's grabbing the point up over there. Isn't that interesting? Okay, let's try that again. Escape, escape. Pick on here. Right click on the far end connector and say draw flex duct. And instead of going there, I'm going to hover and see if it'll pick up. It's picking something up from over there. Not sure what it's picking up. This one isn't doing it right, so I'm gonna. Oh, I did see a snap there. Tab, tab, tab. No, not working. Start again here. I'm gonna hit escape once, or you can again pick on here and right click on that little connector and draw flex duct. And now you see it'll go this way backwards, but it won't go this way. Kind of strange. And escape, escape. So if any time you want to draw a piece of ductwork that stems from anything, okay, all you have to do is right click on the connector here and say either draw a duct or draw flex duct. Draw a duct, we'll draw a ductwork, and then you simply pick another connector, and you have to make sure you pick the actual connector. Very important. And you can see that this isn't. Is that giving me? It's giving me an endpoint. What if I pick on there? Yeah, looks like it's going to do it. Okay, and you know if it's connected because what happens if you hover out and you go tab once, tab, 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 click. Okay, it's going to follow it. So as you go tab, you see that first segment? Okay, tab again, there you go. Tab grabs the whole thing. So 3 tabs to pick on it. And then off you go, tab, 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 click. See the little rectangles are around each little aspect of it. Okay, clicking out. And you can pick on here and you can change the elevation and property. So anything you see in here, you can change. Now, you're going to get into trouble if you pick this main trunk and all of a sudden you say, okay, going to be 8 feet up. So it's going to try to route that 8 feet up, and it's going to make a little bit of a mess, you can see, because it pulled this guy up with it. Okay, so you can change the properties of this stuff, but some of it is going to not work well with your design. So as you pick on this stuff, you'll see the different properties inside of here. Pick on here. You can nudge these around. You can change the size of these. You can change it to be a different type of ductwork. You can change the justification. Instead of being middle, you can justify that piece of ductwork by the top or the bottom. Horizontal justification is by the center. As you're drawing and aligning and stuff with ductwork, there's a center point in there. So if for whatever reason, let's go to architectural. Let's say I have a reference plane over here. And I want this to be lined up with it, the center line. So what I'm going to do is go modify, go to my line tool, pick my reference plane, hover over here and hit tab, tab. Now it has the center line. Pick, and now it's going to move that guy over. Click out, escape, escape. Now I might want to take these two guys using my control button, using my shift arrow key for a big nudge, and then just a regular arrow key on the keyboard. Little nudges, again, shift with an arrow key on the keyboard does big nudges. So move those guys into place. I can also just notice these guys are lighter because they're down below. I can also just do a big window box over everything and go shift, nudge, nudge, nudge. Okay, so you can grab different segments and use your arrow keys to nudge this stuff around. It's going to stay connected. If I only grab these guys and nudge it, well, then it's Oh, look, it moved that whole thing. I wasn't sure what that was going to do. Going to hit undo. Maybe we do want that. Then what we need to do is to pick on this guy. What is this? This is a takeoff standard. I'm going to get rid of this guy and delete it because it's going to reconnect it. I'm going to grab this guy, and when you drag it to the center line. Pick. And then when you let go, it's going to do the cleanup, and it's going to create that connection there with that duct fitting. So you can grab this stuff and nudge it. You can, rotate it. I don't know what rotating is going to do here, but we could rotate that. Doesn't like it too much, but it's going to let us do it. Click out. Escape, escape. Oh, it really doesn't like it. And it's not connected to a network and no longer keeping the connected disconnect. So now what's happened is it's not made a proper connection, so now my system is unconnected. So wonder what happens if we just take this guy and delete it and try to reconnect this. Like this. Now we need a new fitting in there. Okay, so I'm going to undo to bring back my rotation. There we go. So feel free to take this stuff and move it around. If I take this piece of equipment and raise it by changing its elevation, it's going to have some impact. Okay, let's look from our side elevation over here. Click, click. Okay, click out. Okay, there's our side elevation. Change this to be shaded or consistent colors. Okay. See, there's those hidden lines because the ductwork is being hidden behind. Okay, that's what those hidden lines were in our settings. So there we can see some ductwork back to our ceiling level. We could look at that from, different view over here. Okay, see see the hidden lines in here? That's being set up through our mechanical settings. Those lines are these guys. Hidden lines. Where was that? Right here. So that's what those are when they're obscuring each other. So you can go in, you can take this, and you can move it up or down. Watch, I'm going to nudge it up, nudge it down. So you can take this stuff and move it up and down, and effectively it changes its offset inside of here. I can zoom out. I can pick on this piece of ductwork. It says it's at -4 feet. If I change that to be, -2 feet or 600 millimeters, click out, moves it up, and does it. So as long as you don't try to do something crazy, it'll always try to make these connections for you and try to keep the integrity of the system. So from here you can take these guys and you can move them around, pull them back and forth, reconnect them. Whenever you connect duct to ductwork, it automatically adds in all the fittings and stuff like that. We also sometimes have to add in some end caps inside of here to make the system work because we need to put end caps on the outlets and stuff that we are not using. Similarly, if you end up having a piece of ductwork that sticks out here, you want to put an end cap on there. So just a quick opener on doing a little bit of editing, picking on this stuff, moving it around, and changing some properties, and just get a feel for it as you work with it. Once again, this one was more or less created by first drawing the fixtures or the components here, and then using that automatic generate system to generate it. In the next lesson, we'll show you how to just do some manual routing without having to use the Revit automatic system generator, the routing tool. So we'll come back and try that in our next lesson.